In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on August 25, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Cleveland Guardians versus Toronto Blue Jays. The Cleveland Guardians are still somehow alive in the American League Central race, but their schedule only gets harder over the weekend as they head north to take on the incredibly tough Toronto Blue Jays, who now find themselves in a packed race for the final spot in the American League wild card race. Both of these teams have struggled to build big momentum in recent weeks, so this weekend blockbuster series will be their chance to set it straight. And as we close in on the final month of the season, each and every game becomes increasingly more important. Both of these teams still have plenty to play for down the stretch, and after a 2-2 record in their 4-game set earlier in the season, this one is bound to be just as tight over this weekend in what should be a blockbuster series. First thing first is Friday's matchup, and with a better lineup, better pitching, and the momentum of 5 wins in their past 9 games, as well as home field advantage, all things are pointing towards a major victory for the Jays to pull within 1 game of the American League wild card race. Bibby is coming of a start against the Tigers where he wasn't exactly dominant. He gave up 3 runs in that game, and he's going to give up at least that here. The Blue Jays bats are going to get going early here, and Toronto is going to get the job done. So the Toronto Blue Jays money line is our full game side pick. Both of these pitching staffs are elite and backed by strong defense. Cleveland is 4th in runs allowed per game, and Toronto is 1st. This starting pitcher battle should be tight, with each bullpen capable of matching zeros behind them. At the plate, the Guardians aren't a threat, especially not in August, while the Blue Jays are mediocre. While these lineups have more than enough firepower to put up runs in a hurry, it's the 2 pitching units that lead the way for these talented teams, and with the under sitting at 7-3 in their past 10 head-to-head meetings, expect the pitching to thrive yet again. For the Guardians, the under is 6-4 in their past 10 overall games, and for the Blue Jays, the under sits at 5-5 over that stretch, and with 2 pitchers in this one combining for an earned run average under 6.5 on the season. This should be another fun pitchers duel after 2 1-0 games in their last series. The first 4 games between these teams finished under the total, and this should be another low-scoring battle. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Angels versus New York Mets. The Mets host the Angels for Game 1 of a 3-game series starting Friday, August 25th. These 2 teams have been massive underachievers this year, and they are both very unlikely to make the playoffs. The Mets have lost 3 of their last 4 games, while the Angels have lost 4 straight games. Both teams' offenses have been playing well over the past couple weeks, and that is expected to continue on Friday night. The key factor for this game on Friday night is the efficiency of Senga. He has an earned run average of 2.93 since the All-Star break. He has been dominating opposing teams as the Mets have won his last 3 starts. The Angels have struggled recently as they have lost 4 straight games, and Ohtani suffered an injury to his throwing arm. Both teams have heavily underachieved this season, but in this game, the Mets should take the win on the back of Senga and their offense as of late. New York has had the 10th most home runs, and the Angels pitching staff has allowed the 7th most homers. So the New York Mets money line is our full game side pick. I don't predict an offensive explosion from this Mets lineup. New York scored 2 combined runs in its last 2 games versus Atlanta and has been held to 3 or fewer runs in 3 of its last 4 games. The Mets haven't performed well against left-handers this season either. I believe they'll give Senga enough run support, but I'm not betting on more than 3 runs from the home team. Los Angeles woes have been very public, with Ohtani set for free agency, which I expect will continue to haunt this team on Friday in Queens. The 2-way superstar isn't going to save the Angels, especially if he can't take the mound. Instead, I expect his fellow Japanese native Senga to steal the show tomorrow, holding Anaheim to 2 or fewer runs in another quality start. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Oakland Athletics versus Chicago White Sox. The Oakland Athletics and Chicago White Sox face off on Friday in an MLB showdown at Guaranteed Rate Field. On Thursday, it was the A's that were able to secure the 8-5 victory. The White Sox haven't found a whole lot of success this season, but they did pick up a nice win Wednesday. The White Sox almost blew the game in the 9th inning, but in the 10th inning they had a walk-off hit. The White Sox were led by Trace Thompson, who finished with 1 home run, 2 hits, and 2 RBIs. The White Sox are averaging 4.13 runs while their pitching is giving up 5.09 runs per game. The offense is ranked 25th while the pitching is ranked 26th. Luis Robert has hit 33 home runs and driven in 67 RBIs. On the mound for the White Sox will be Dylan Cease, who sits with a 5-6 record and an earned run average of 4.5. The Athletics bats have been ice cold most of the season, and on Wednesday, they were especially bad. The A's only had 2 hits and 0 runs against the Kansas City Royals. The A's overall this season is averaging 3.59 runs while their pitching is giving up 5.98 runs per game. The A's are ranked last in baseball in runs per game, opponents' runs per game, run differential per game, batting average, and hits per game. On the mound for the A's is Zach Neal, who sits with a 0-0 record and an earned run average of 8.25. The White Sox split their last 4 games, but they played well offensively during that stretch, scoring 20 runs in their last 4 games. They will play well offensively once again because Neal, who has been used solely out of the bullpen this season, isn't playing well at the moment, giving up 6 runs in the last 5.1 innings he pitched. He gave up 4 runs in his only start against the White Sox, and with Oakland having the worst bullpen in the league, they will have a hard time slowing down the White Sox in this game. The Athletics have won 2 of their last 3 games, but they've lost 9 of their last 10 road games. They are playing well offensively and scored 15 runs in their last 3 road games. But they will struggle offensively in this game because they've struggled against right-handers, and Cease has done a good job on the mound in recent home starts, giving up 6 runs in his last 3 home starts. He gave up 4 runs in his last 3 starts against the Athletics and will keep their offense in check. So the Chicago White Sox money line is our full game side pick. The Athletics are averaging 3.57 runs per game and 3.89 runs per game on the road. They average 7 runs per game in their last 3 games against the White Sox, with Chicago giving up 5.02 runs per game at home. The Athletics will go over their average in this game. The White Sox are averaging 4.13 runs per game and 4 runs per game at home. They average 6 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Athletics. With Oakland giving up 6.32 runs per game on the road, the White Sox will score enough runs to push the score over the total. The Athletics and White Sox played over the total in 6 of their last 7 meetings. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.